Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Linda Lewis, and I'm First Vice President of the Riverside Business and Professional Women's Club. I'd like to welcome all of you to this wonderful concert with our own baritone, Russell St. John. Before I begin, this beautiful scarf was dropped at the sign-in table. Who does this belong to? Okay. You want me to bring it to you?
It's not mine.
Okay. I'd like to begin our concert with a reading from today's Daily Word. And it goes, oh, lost my page. Here we go. The topic for today is centered in divine strength. I am confident and peaceful. If I find myself struggling to hear the weight of a heavy load, and I'm wondering how much further I can travel and how much longer I can carry on, I rely on my spiritual strength to keep me going. When I align my thoughts with this divine gift and not on the weight I carry or the distance I travel, I'm tapping into the power of God and expressing as me. Through divine strength, I am renewed and refreshed. I have everything I need to stay the course. Knowing the presence of God comes to me through many channels, I may ask for help and accept it graciously when it comes. I give myself breaks and make time for prayer and my other spiritual practices. Through it all, I remain strong and grateful for the God within me. Finally, be strong in the Lord and in the strength of his power. Ephesians chapter 6, verse 10. And now I'd like to read a short biography of Russell, our magnificent performer today. Described as possessing an assured, soothing baritone by John Perelas of the New York Times, Russell St. John's lyric voice and compelling interpretations of the solo, operatic, and oratorical repertoire have brought him critical acclaim in the United States and Europe. He has worked with some of the great conductors of our day, including Zubin Mehta, Andrew Litton, Willie Waters, John DeMaine, David Gilbert, Julius Williams, and James Levine of the Metropolitan Opera. He has also been featured in recitals and as soloist with orchestras in many international music festivals, including Il Gran Teatro de Fenice, Teatro de Chalet, the Ruins of Pompeii Festival in Sicily, and the Salzburg Festival in Austria. His large repertoire is diverse, ranging from lieder, art songs, and spirituals, to the great oratorical and major concert works of Bach, Handel, Mozart, and Mendelssohn. Operatic roles include De Luna in Il Trovatore by Verdi, Rodrigo in Don Carlo, again by Verdi, Amonostro in Aida by Verdi. And a major exponent of new music, he actively performs the works of living composers and has given world premieres of Death by Luis André Cobo and the Dance Theater of Harlem's Spiritual Suite, composed by Tanya Leon, narrated by LeVar Burton and the legendary Marian Anderson. Mr. St. John has been fortunate enough to have worked with Betty Allen, Kathleen Battle, Jesse Norman, and Grace Bumbry. We look forward to sharing the music from this historical event, which was performed 97 years ago at the Salle Gaveau in Paris, France. And I'd also like you to know that there will be a free will offering after the concert, and the baskets are at the back of the Assembly Hall. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I and my able accompanist, Mr. Doug Drake, who you will meet shortly, we are so appreciative to see you all here on this Sunday in a city like New York where there are so many other places that you could have chosen to be. We do not take that for granted, and we say thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So, come, take your seats. It's no problem. So, it was announced that I will come out to do a concert. Actually, I'm coming out to do a short, brief lecture. Okay? Short and brief. Because I don't believe in being redundant. After, they say when a preacher, after 15 minutes, they become redundant. Well, this lecture will be short and thank you. So, one of the books that I used for this short and brief lecture is The Undiscovered Paul Robeson, An Artist's Journey, 1898 to 1939, 41 years. This book was penned by his son, Paul Robeson Jr. I invite you to go to your local library. If it's there, borrow it, renew it 2 or 3 times, because it is a fascinating and informative reading about Paul Robeson from his son's point of view, okay? Not someone else who was off in the distance. This is his son talking about his dad. So, I think this will work. I think that will work, yes. I think, yeah, that will. Thank you. So, a drop in the sea of time. And from that sea, we're going to, or I'm going to select little ripples. Because, see, Paul Robeson, born April 9th, 1898, and God called him home January 23rd, 1976. He was 78 years old. I will never forget that funeral. Never. I stood out on 7th Avenue and watched them bring that casket out of Mother AME Zion Church. You could not see north or south. Everybody was out there to say thank you and farewell to this great man. But his life was such that I could stand here and talk about him for the next 2 or 3 years, and that wouldn't be brief. So what I have done, because this man's life was so vast and enormous, I had to select a specific period of his life. So what I have done, I've selected 4 years, a 4-year period, 1923 to to 1927. 25 years old, 29 years old. From law degree to conquering Paris in 4 years. Unbelievable. I have always, I think I'm off book at this point. He's my hero. He's always been someone I've looked up to as a child. This 4-year period from law degree to Paris, the person who would become the icon for me has always been the true story. This man, had it not been for his wife, Eslanda, you know, they say behind every great man, there's a greater. And thank God for you, Essie. Thank God for the work that you did. Back on book. So, why have I chosen 1923? Well, February 1923, Paul receives notice of completed requirements for his Bachelor of Law degree. So what? Why did I start there? Oh, you're about to find out. He wanted to be a lawyer. But we're talking 1923. 1923. A black man wanting to be a lawyer. Well, how dare you? Where did you get such unction? And he is awarded a degree from Columbia University. Any people here from Columbia? Right down the street. So you know where I'm going. Okay. He completes these requirements. At that time, the Rutgers football coach, Foster Sanford, introduces Paul to Louis W. Stolesbury, major law firm. After the interview, Paul was hired on the spot. He was asked to write a brief for the Gould will case. Paul's brief was so well detailed, written, that it was basically used unaltered. Paul was not in courtroom, but Paul's case brief was used, and they won the case. Again, read his son's book, it's all there. Again, Paul was called on to bring his talents to bear. This time, a stenographer was asked by Paul to take dictation. She said, quote, "I don't take dictation from no nigger." 1923. This incident caused him to look at this whole law thing, this whole legal thing, different. he felt that maybe, I can get a position in politics and whatnot, but that's not what he wanted. More has been written about this incident, and I invite you all to read. There's been lots written about it. The amazing thing is, to this day, we all know who Paul Robeson is. We don't know the name of the stenographer. And that is her legacy. You are forever nameless, and your comment is forever known. Hallelujah. So what happened, has conversation with Essie, and they tried to figure this thing out because he said, I can't make a name for myself in this field. And he said, something will come along. And something did. Paul was singing in choruses in a show called The Plantation and, The Plantation Review and Shuffle Along, starring Florence Mills. Do you all know that name? She was an incredible artist, one of Harlem's greatest artists. Paul Robeson felt that being in a show with her was like taking a master class in stage deportment. And so he did that for a while. This leads to a famous company that still functions. I want to backtrack a bit. This month, this year, is the 101st anniversary of Paul Robeson receiving his law degree. The official year was 1923. Now, this year, there's all these centennial celebrations coming up. 1924, 100 years ago, he joined the Providence Town Players. That company is still functioning, people. That company that produced Paul Robeson, Claudette Colbert, Betty Davis, incredible names. And in the village, he meets Eugene O'Neill, Providence Town Players, and they developed this friendship. These artists working in this playhouse where Paul, he takes up a love for theater. And in that theater, he develops his stagecraft. But all the while, there was singing in the background. He never gave that up. But it was something about theater that made him pursue this life, this stagecraft, that infected and infected his singing. He said, and I quote, "I will not go into opera." Why? Where I will probably be one of hundreds of mediocre singers, but I will concentrate on Negro music, which has never been properly done. I agree with that statement. There were lots of people who sang at the Negro spiritual, who sang at the Negro folk song, but there was something not quite right about it. Paul heard the folk in the fields. Paul heard the preaching of the elders. Paul was a member of Mother AME Zion Church. Is Mother AME Zion Church here today? Any of their members? Oh, what a pity. And the Provincetown Players, they go on, and as artists always do, they pushed him. Paul, you need to be singing. You need to be singing. They would have him sing at functions of the black elite and the white elite, and they felt that the Negro spiritual was out of vogue. You know, could you sing something else? No. My music, the music of my people, can stand head and shoulders alongside all those Europeans. That's the way I feel about it. And that's what I'm going to do. And that is what he did. Hasn't even turned 29 years old yet. And what do? The Provincetown Players? They sponsor his first concert. And that took place on, I'm sorry, I'll be with you in a second. I've lost my notes here. His first concert took place on Sunday evening, April 19th, 1925. Next year, that will be another centennial celebration. 1925, April. Maybe you'll come back and I'll sing that concert. That was so well received. They sponsored another one. Second concert, May 3rd, 1925. So we have 2 centennial celebrations next year. We need to celebrate that. Columbia needs to do something. Okay? After these 2 concerts, a leading manager sponsored their triumphant tour, starting in London, throughout Europe, and that leads to the Salle Gaveau. Have any of you here in your travels visited the Salle Gaveau in Paris? Have you, sir? Fascinating concert hall, isn't it? Very little of the hall has changed. The last time I was in Paris, that sounds like a play. The last time I was in Paris, 2010, I had the opportunity to have my picture taken on the stage. And I looked and I could not believe, I said, my God, very little has changed here. The only thing that has changed are the color of the seats. But the stage, everything, it's the same. And it is an incredibly acoustical gem. And hopefully, with God's help, I'll get a chance to sing this concert on that stage. Paul Robeson left us so much. His interpretation of the Negro spiritual is such that you are drawn in. He's not serving himself. He's serving the text. So when he sings, wade in the water, you get the meaning. When he sings, Ezekiel saw the wheel way up in the middle of the air. That big wheel run by faith and the little wheel run by the grace of God, a wheel in a wheel, way in the middle of the air. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child, a long ways from home. Is there anybody here like Weeping Mary? Call upon your Jesus, and he'll draw nigh. Thank you, Mr. Paul Robeson. The Negro spiritual. And I'm going to approach this from a different point of view. Like Paul Robeson, there's so much that can be said about the Negro spiritual, its origins, where it started, what didn't happen, what did happen, who said what, who didn't say what. My approach to it for this lecture in 1807, there was a book that was published in England and used here. It's called the Negro Bible. It was the Bible for us. Only 14 books. But it said things like, slaves, obey your masters. It was the do's and don'ts for being a Negro. Why do I raise that issue? You see, the Negro spiritual was and still is our living Bible to our living God. Now, I'm going to say something, people may get upset, but that is just the way I feel about it. The God that black people pray to is not the God that white people pray to. How could it possibly be? We were taught this is who your God is. And then, by some miracle of reading and acquiring knowledge, we said, wait a minute, something's not right here. So when we sing, didn't my Lord deliver Daniel, we're talking to someone else. When we sing no more auction block, we're talking to a different God. That's who we're talking to. The Negro spiritual is my testament to my God. And I stand by that. And if I offended anyone by my last comment, I am so sorry, but that's how this black artist, this colored man, this Negro feels. And I will stand by that to the day I die. Our secret messages were in the Negro spiritual. There's no hiding place down here. Oh, there's no hiding place down here. Well, I went to the rock to hide my face. The rock cried out, no hiding place. What were we saying? We know y'all out in those fields, but you can't stay here. The dogs are here. The bloodhounds are here. You got to wade in that water. What does that mean? You wade in the water, the dogs can't sniff you. They can't see your tracks. Follow the drinking gourd. The drinking gourd. What does that mean? Go north. Go north, Negro, go north. Frederick Douglass said something very interesting. He also refused to accept the religious ideas of his master, since they did not improve his attitude towards the slaves. Our Negro spirituals, it's a reinterpretation of heaven. It's a reinterpretation of this whole God thing. The folk songs, feelings and tastes that are communal rather than personal. Like, Little David, play on your harp. Little David, play on your harp. Hallelujah. Play on your harp, David, play. I can just see the kids running around in the field chasing each other. How are we for time? Okay, thank you. I want to move on. The concert that you're about to hear. This concert that took place October 29th, 1927 at the Salle Gaveau in Paris, the Rue de la Beauté. The four opening Negro spirituals, wade in the water, on my journey now, go down Moses, Ezekiel saw the wheel. It's very interesting that he picked those four and put them first to open the concert. And it ends with him inviting the people to come into the water. Come. I need you to wade in the water. Why? Because God's going to trouble the water. He's going to stir it up. You need to wade. You need to get into this water. You need to set to work or attack with determination what you need to do to be free, to be human against so many that are telling you you're not human. Get in the water, because God is going to produce physical disorder to put to exertion or inconvenience, to put to confused motion those who are oppressing you. Get in the water and let God work. So I came to the valley, but I didn't go to stay. Well, my soul got happy, and I stayed all day. You can talk about me just as much as you please. Slave masters in your minion, I'm going to talk about you when I pray on my knees. Mount Zion. Let my people what? Go. Tell old Pharaoh to let my people go. Ezekiel saw the wheel. Isn't that interesting? How many people have ever read that chapter? It's very apocalyptic. That wheel in the middle of the wheel. But how does it end? Oh, man of God, prophesy upon this valley of dry bones. Prophesy that new sinew come to new sinew, new bone to new bone, skin to new skin, life to life. And what happened in the valley of the dry bones? They all stood up and walked out on new land. Victory was the ground that they stood on that day. Victory. And he's talking about the Negro victory. We stand on victorious ground, and don't you ever forget it. Sing those Negro spirituals with pride and grace and further. And what was the word this morning in church? Faith. 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 I thank you for having me here. I hope that I shared something. I hope that you are inspired to read more about Paul Robeson. I've done my best to give you something to take with you. I'm going to take a break so my chords can get back to ready to sing for you, and see you in a few minutes. God bless you all.
So friends, while Russell is resting and taking a break, we want to invite you to a little reception over there on the side. There are some cool drinks and some sweet treats. We invite you to have them here. Don't pack them up and take them home. We want everyone to be able to enjoy. So please help yourself to some refreshments, and we'll be back shortly to hear the concert.
friends almost immediately and have been. You know.
Oh, that sounds good.
Hey Russ, my friend, how are you?
Good afternoon. We're going to continue the program in about 1 minute.
Again, thank you all for being here. Thank you so much. We forgot to do something. To the people that are participating via live stream, welcome and thank you. Oh, where's the camera? Okay. Thank you. Oh. Don't worry, you will all be home in time for Super Bowl Sunday. But isn't that interesting? Today's Super Bowl Sunday and Paul Robeson's football record. Another centennial, just to throw that out.
Mount Zion. One day, I was walking along, and the elements opened, and the Lord come down Mount Zion. On my journey now, Mount Zion, my journey now, Mount Zion. Well, I wouldn't take nothing, Mount Zion, for my journey now, Mount Zion. Well, I went to the valley, but I didn't go to stay. Well, my soul got happy, and I stayed all day, Mount Zion. On my journey now, Mount Zion, my journey now, Mount Zion. Well, I wouldn't take nothing, Mount Zion, for my journey now, Mount Zion. You can talk about me just as much as you please. I'm gonna talk about you. When I pray on my knees, Mount Zion. On my journey now, Mount Zion, my journey now, Mount Zion. Well, I wouldn't take nothing, Mount Zion, for my journey now, Mount Zion. Ezekiel's sword wheel, way in the middle of the air. The big wheel run by faith, little wheel run by the grace of God. A wheel in a wheel, way in the middle of the air. Let me tell you, brother, what a hypocrite will do. Way in the middle of the air, he'll low-rate me and he'll low-rate you. Way in the middle of the air, oh, Satan wears a clubfoot shoe. Way in the middle of the air, if you don't mind, he'll slip it on you. Way in the middle of the air, Ezekiel's sword wheel, way up in the middle of the air. Ezekiel's sword wheel, way in the middle of the air. The big wheel run by faith, and the little wheel run by the grace of God. A wheel in a wheel, way in the middle of the air. You better mind, my brother, how you walk on the cross. Way in the middle of the air, oh, your foot may slip and your soul get lost. Way in the middle of the air, Ezekiel's sword wheel, way up in the middle of the air. Ezekiel's sword wheel, way in the middle of the air. Ezekiel's sword wheel, way up in the middle of the air. Ezekiel's sword wheel, way in the middle of the air. What a boy! Where are you hiding? If you don't come, don't tell your mama. There ain't no hammer that's on this mountain that rings like mine, boys, that rings like mine. I done bust this rock, boys, from here to Macon, all the way to the jail, boys. Yes, I'm back to the jail. Jack o' diamonds, yeah, you jack o' diamonds. I know you're bold, boys. Yes, I know you are bold. You done robbed my pocket. You robbed my pocket. You done robbed my pocket of silver and gold. What a boy! Where are you hiding? If you don't come, go and tell your mama. days, 40 nights, and the rains kept a-falling. The wicked climbed the tree, and for help kept a-calling, for they heard the waters wailing. Didn't it rain? Rain? Didn't it rain? Tell me no. Didn't it rain? Some climbed the mountain, some climbed the hill, some started sailing and a rowing with a will. Some tried swimming, and I guess they swimming still, for they heard the waters roaring. Didn't it rain? Rain, didn't it rain? Tell me no. Didn't it rain? Didn't it rain? I always share this information about sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Paul Robeson Sr. is written of in the Undiscovered Paul Robeson, his son's book. And he talks about this incident that happened early. Paul was somewhere in the house. His father was off on business. And the mother and Marion and Paul's brother, they were in the kitchen. And there was a very unfortunate accident that happened. The mother's dress caught fire from the stove. And she was burned alive. It is believed that Paul was in the house, but as a little kid, he froze. And that had an incredible effect on his life. And I don't think, and this is just my opinion, that he could sing this song like anybody else. To be in that environment and hear the screaming and the burning flesh. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. 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 True believer. I'm almost gone. Sometimes I feel like I'm almost gone. From a David, come play me a piece. David said to me, how can I play when I'm in a strange land? David, play on your harp, hallelujah, hallelujah, little David, play on your harp, hallelujah, David, play on your harp, hallelujah, hallelujah, little David, play on Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. I looked over Jordan, and what did I see? Coming for to carry me home. A band of angels coming after me, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me Oh, by and by, by and by, I'm gonna lay down my heavy load. Oh, by and by, I'm gonna lay down this heavy load. I know my robe's gonna fit me well. I'm gonna lay down this heavy load. I tried it on at the gates of hell. I'm gonna lay down this heavy load. Oh, by and by, I'm gonna lay down this heavy load. Oh, some of these mornings bright and fair, I'm gonna lay down this heavy load. Gonna take my wings and cleave the air. I'm gonna lay down this heavy load. Oh, by and by, I'm gonna lay down this heavy over Jordan, deep river, Lord. I want to cross over into campground. Deep river, my home is over Jordan. Deep river, Lord, I wanna cross over into campground. Oh, don't you want to go to that gospel feast, that promised land, where all is peace? Lord, I wanna cross over into campground. Every time I feel the Spirit moving in my heart, I will pray. Every time I feel the Spirit moving in my heart, I will pray. Upon the mountain, my Lord spoke. Out of his mouth came fire and smoke. In the valley, on my knees, ask the Lord, have mercy, please. Every time I feel the Spirit moving in my heart, I will pray. Every time I feel the Spirit moving in my heart, I will pray. Jordan River, chill and cold, chill the body, not the soul. All around me, looks so shine, ask my Lord if all was mine. Every time I feel the Spirit moving in my heart, I will pray. Every time I feel the Spirit moving in my heart, I will pray. sometimes it causes me to tremble. Were you there when they crucified my Lord? Were you there when they laid him in the tomb? Were you there when they laid him in the My Lord, gone just like he said.
second.
Oh, nobody knows the troubles I've seen. Nobody knows but Jesus. Nobody knows the troubles I've seen. Glory, hallelujah. Nobody knows the troubles I've seen. Nobody knows but Jesus. Nobody knows the troubles I've seen. Glory, hallelujah. Sometimes I'm up, sometimes I'm down. Oh, yes, Lord. Sometimes I'm almost to the ground. Oh, yes, Lord. Nobody about your man or Saul, but there's a none like good old Joshua at the Battle of Jericho. Up to the walls of Jericho, they march with spear in hand. Joshua commanded the children to shout, cause the battle am in my hand. But then the lamb ram sheep horns began to blow, trumpets began to sound. Joshua commanded the children to shout, and the walls come tumbling down. And morning, Joshua fought the battle of Jericho, Jericho, Jericho. Joshua fought the battle of Jericho, and the walls come tumbling down. A good morning, Riverside. Parade, tell me where you're bound. Traveling through this wilderness, oh disenchanted ground. Our name is Riverside, and for Canaan we are bound. Traveling through this wilderness, oh disenchanted ground. That morning, Joshua fought the battle of Jericho, Jericho, Jericho. Joshua fought the battle of Jericho, and the walls come tumbling down. That morning, Joshua fought the battle of Jericho. Oh yes, so glad that Joshua fought the battle of Jericho. And the walls come tumbling down. I think I'm good for one more. If there's anybody here Glory be to my God, who rules on high. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. It has been a pleasure. Thank you. Okay. Get home safe, everyone. All right.